All right, listeners, welcome back. We're taking a deep dive into Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone today. Using excerpts from the book itself, we'll uncover hidden gems and fascinating details you might have missed, even if you've read it tons of times.
I know, right? Even after all these years, I still find something new every time I reread it.
Exactly. So, have you ever thought about, the meaning behind Harry's scar? Or, the whole Nicholas Flamel mystery? What about that three-headed dog guarding the stone?
Yeah, and the mirror of Erised.
So many questions, right? We'll unlock those mysteries and so much more today. So,
Get ready.
let's start with the Dursleys. They're so ordinary, it's almost comical, right? Completely oblivious to the magic happening all around them. What do you think Rowling was going for with this contrast between the mundane and the magical?
That's a good question. I think they kind of represent the world's rejection of magic. Like they're suppressing wonder and imagination. And then you have Harry's extraordinary journey, which is like the complete opposite. It's like Rowling is saying that magic exists even in the most boring places if we just open our eyes to it.
Yeah, I totally see that. I love those early chapters with subtle hints of magic, like the cat reading a map, the owls delivering letters in broad daylight. It's as if the magical world is trying to break through, but the Dursleys just ignore it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And all those little details just build up the anticipation for when magic fully enters Harry's life.
With Hagrid.
Exactly. Hagrid. He smashes that mundane reality Harry's trapped in and reveals his magical lineage, which Harry had no clue about.
I know. It's incredible how one line, "Harry, you're a wizard," can still give me chills, even after all this time. There's something so powerful about the way Hagrid just blows up the Dursleys' facade and shows Harry his true destiny. But then he also brings news of tragedy,
Yeah.
The story of Harry's parents and the shadow of Voldemort looming over it all.
Yeah, it instantly raises the stakes.
For sure.
Yeah, Voldemort's introduction and the tragic fate of Harry's parents, it just establishes this sense of danger and purpose.
Yeah.
Like Harry's life is on the line because of who he is. But it also means he has a crucial role to play in fighting against evil.
Absolutely. And then, boom, we're off to Diagon Alley. It's just pure sensory overload in the best possible way. Bustling crowds, shops overflowing with magical stuff, the sheer wonder of this hidden world. You know that feeling of stepping into a world where magic is real?
Oh, I do.
It's like all your childhood dreams coming true.
It is. And Rowling's descriptions are so vivid you can almost smell the potions bubbling
Yeah.
and hear the goblins counting their coins and Gringotts. It's a world that just begs you to explore and uncover its secrets.
Oh, totally. And speaking of secrets, remember that mysterious item Hagrid gets from that high-security vault? It's our first big clue that something much bigger is happening, something that's going to have huge implications for Harry.
Yeah, it's like Chekhov's wand or something. We know whatever's in that vault is going to be important later on.
Right. We also get our first taste of wizarding currency, galleons, sickles, and nuts. Did you ever try to work out the exchange rate?
Huh. I think I did once. It's a small detail, but it just adds to the richness of that world.
For sure. And then there's Ollivanders. The moment Harry finds his wand is like a turning point. It's not just about getting some magical tool, it's about the wand choosing the wizard, a connection that goes beyond just owning it.
Absolutely.
And that weird link between his wand and Voldemort's adds this layer of, foreboding.
Yeah.
It suggests they have a shared destiny, a confrontation that's inevitable.
Makes you wonder where that'll go.
Speaking of destiny, let's talk about Hogwarts and the sorting ceremony.
Hogwarts. The castle itself is practically another character in the story.
Right.
A place full of wonder and mystery. And the sorting ceremony.
With the sorting hat singing about each house.
Yeah. It introduces those core values that will shape Harry's whole journey.
The grandeur of the Great Hall, the floating candles, all the nervous first years. It's such a vivid and memorable scene. And for Harry, the sorting ceremony is more than just a formality. It's a test of his character. He's torn between wanting to belong and dreading being put in Slytherin, Voldemort's house.
Yeah, that's a big one.
You can just feel his relief when he gets sorted into Gryffindor.
I know, right?
It's like he's rejecting the dark path and embracing courage and righteousness. It's a crucial moment of self-discovery that sets the stage for all his future choices and his ultimate showdown with Voldemort.
And that's just the beginning.
We've witnessed Harry's first steps into the magical world, but now it's time to go deeper, into the heart of Hogwarts. From classes and ghosts to feasts and the Forbidden Forest, there's so much to explore.
And we'll uncover it all in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned. So we left off with Harry, right? Settling into Hogwarts, this whole world of magic and wonder. But there are also secrets and dangers lurking beneath the surface. Remember that mysterious thing Hagrid took from Gringotts? It's starting to feel like that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. As Harry gets deeper into this magical world, he stumbles upon a mystery that's going to test his courage and his friendships. The mystery of the Philosopher's Stone.
Right. But Hogwarts is more than just classes and mysteries. It's also where he discovers Quidditch. And for Harry, it becomes way more than just a game.
Oh, yeah. His natural talent and daring as a seeker. It foreshadows the courage he'll need later on to face even bigger challenges.
Totally. Like the Quidditch pitch becomes a training ground for the real battles ahead.
Exactly.
And then there's that whole rivalry with Draco Malfoy and the Slytherins. It adds another layer of tension, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like this age-old battle between good and evil playing out right there in the halls of Hogwarts.
It really is. The conflict between Harry and Malfoy, it goes beyond just schoolyard rivalry.
Yeah.
It's like a clash between two completely different ways of seeing the world, you know?
Yeah.
Malfoy embodies that pureblood elitism and arrogance, while Harry, he represents courage, compassion, and the belief that anyone can achieve greatness.
No matter their background.
Exactly.
That's a great point. It makes you think about the choices we make and the paths we choose. Speaking of choices, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are starting to piece together the clues about the Philosopher's Stone. Remember that name from Dumbledore's chocolate frog card? Nicholas Flamel?
Ah, yes. Nicholas Flamel, the alchemist who figured out the secret to eternal life.
Right. It's a brilliant clue, isn't it? It introduces this whole concept of immortality, its allure and its potential dangers.
Oh, definitely.
That's where it gets super interesting for me. What do you think Rowling is trying to say about the pursuit of immortality? It seems like a dangerous desire.
Yeah, immortality is a fascinating concept, for sure. Both alluring and terrifying. I mean, who wouldn't want to live forever, right? To experience everything life has to offer.
Right.
But then you have to ask, what's the cost of eternal life? What do you have to sacrifice? What happens to our humanity when we go beyond that natural cycle of life and death?
Those are some deep questions. It's like Rowling is making us think about what truly matters in life.
Yeah, and she does it all within this exciting adventure story. It's amazing.
I know. It's brilliant. And then there's the Mirror of Arise.
Oh, yes, the mirror.
This magical artifact that shows you your heart's deepest desire.
Such a great plot device.
It's so beautiful and heartbreaking seeing Harry looking into that mirror, longing for the family he lost. It reminds us that even in a world full of magic, some wounds just never truly heal.
Yeah, it really does. The mirror shows us the characters' vulnerabilities and their deepest longings. For Harry, it's that yearning for family, for belonging. But for Ron, it's wanting recognition, you know?
Yeah, to step out of his brother's shadows.
Okay, exactly, to achieve greatness on his own terms.
It makes you think about what you would see in that mirror, doesn't it? What are our deepest desires, the things we want most?
It is a powerful metaphor for the human experience. You know, we're all driven by these desires, by longing for things we might never have. But the mirror also acts as a warning, remember? Dumbledore tells Harry, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.
Right.
It's a reminder that we need to balance chasing our dreams with appreciating the present moment.
Last time we left off with Harry, Ron, and Hermione facing their toughest challenge yet, protecting the Philosopher's Stone from Voldemort.
Yeah, they've definitely proved their courage and wit and loyalty to each other.
But facing the darkest wizard of all time, that's next-level danger.
It really is. It's the moment of truth, isn't it? Everything they've learned, everything they've been through, it's all led to this. And now they have to confront not just Voldemort, but the darkness inside themselves too, the fears and doubts that could consume them.
It's incredible how Rowling creates that sense of dread and excitement all at once. You're totally on edge, wondering what's going to happen, knowing the entire wizarding world is at stake.
And the setting just adds to the drama, that final chamber hidden deep under the school. It's like a descent into the underworld, you know, facing our darkest fears and desires.
Okay, so let's talk about that huge reveal. Quirrell, the stuttering, seemingly harmless professor, turns out to be possessed by Voldemort. What a twist. It makes you question everything.
It really does. It's brilliant storytelling. Rowling flips our expectations completely, turning this seemingly minor character into a vessel of pure evil. And the image of Voldemort's face on the back of Quirrell's head, it's terrifying and fascinating at the same time. Like, it represents how innocence can be corrupted, how evil can twist even the most ordinary person.
Chills. I totally got chills when I first read that part. It's like you're looking into the abyss, a reminder of the darkness that exists in the world. But Harry, even though he's terrified, he doesn't back down. He faces Voldemort with this courage that seems to come from deep inside him. Where do you think that strength comes from?
Well, it's the power of love, isn't it? Harry's mother's sacrificed her love for him. It created this shield that Voldemort can't break through. It reminds us that love is the strongest magic of all, a force that can conquer even the darkest evil.
And it's not just his mother's love, it's the love of his friends too. That loyalty that binds them together. Ron and Hermione are right there with him, facing the danger, refusing to let him fight alone.
Yeah, their friendship is powerful. It's a source of strength and courage, a reminder that we're stronger together, that we can overcome anything with the people we love by our side.
So Harry defeats Quirrell Voldemort, but how? It's not a magical duel or anything, it's something much deeper. Something that speaks to who Harry is at his core.
It's his inherent goodness,
Yeah.
his ability to love and have compassion. That's what repels Voldemort's evil. Quirrell can't even touch Harry because of the protection from his mother's love. He's literally burned by Harry's touch. It's such a strong metaphor for how destructive hate is and how transformative love can be.
So powerful. And then there's the Philosopher's Stone itself. We finally learn what it is and why everyone wants it so badly.
It's legendary, an alchemical substance with the power to make you immortal, the ultimate temptation right, the desire to cheat death and live forever. But like Dumbledore says, it's a dangerous desire, one that can lead to obsession and corruption.
Makes you think about what life is really worth, doesn't it? Is immortality really what we should want, or is there beauty in the natural cycle of life and death?
Really makes you think. And the fact that the stone is destroyed so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, it's like a reminder that some sacrifices have to be made for the greater good.
What about Snape, though? He's been this mysterious figure throughout the story. His motives always unclear. Was he really trying to steal the stone, or was there something else going on?
Yeah, Dumbledore tells Harry that Snape, despite being all gruff and seemingly hating Harry, was actually trying to protect them all along.
Wow.
It adds so much more complexity to the story, showing that looks can be deceiving. Even those who seem like enemies can have hidden depths.
It makes you want to go back and reread the whole thing, knowing what we know now. It's like a whole new layer of meaning is revealed.
That's what's so great about Rowling's writing. It's full of layers, meaning symbolism, foreshadowing. It rewards you for paying close attention and coming back to it again and again.
So the last scenes of the book bring a sense of closure, but also a feeling that this is just the beginning. Gryffindor wins the House Cup. Harry goes back to the Dursleys for the summer. And we're left knowing that this is just the start of an incredible journey.
Yeah, it's a satisfying ending, but it definitely leaves you wanting more. We've seen Harry grow and face his fears, discover the power of love and friendship. But we know his adventure isn't over yet. There will be more challenges, new dangers, and discoveries waiting for him back at Hogwarts.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, we encourage you to revisit the book with fresh eyes. Look for those hidden meanings, the subtle clues, the deeper themes that Rowling has woven into this magical story. And ask yourself, what would you see in the mirror of Erased? What are your deepest desires? And how will you go after them? Until next time, keep the magic